what would happen? And then how do we protect that? And when you have the human element, you, like Jay said, you have to assume a breach there because, people are people and people are gonna people.
People
And
are gonna.
when you assume that someone will click on a link, no matter how good your training is, you can stop maybe 96, 97% of the workforce from clicking on a link, but you have to assume that someone at some point is going to. So there's something additional that you should implement when you're doing zero trust. You assume that, right? You don't sit back and say, well, we've got our yearly training and we're good to go, or we've ramped up our training so that it's now monthly and so we're good to go. um you still do that, but you also think about, and as Jeremy likes to say, the attacker mindset, right? You think about the assumed breach and what is the attacker looking for. And I would say in those smaller surgical centers, the smaller offices, looking at, and this is where the conversation comes in with leadership, right? Looking at what are the crown jewels of the company and where do we need to put those additional layers of security. So we assume someone clicks on a link. Where do we then, this is where the technology comes in. Where do we put the technology to keep the attackers from using that link to access deeper into the things that matter most, our patient data, our records, the financial data, those things that we've identified as a leadership level and then communicated with our team. You know, those are the conversations that are the backbone of a successful zero trust implementation.
That was very well said.